Not many people know that apart from YouTube and video content creation, I'm also a fan of writing. I am trying to be a writer. This makes today's topic especially relevant, not only to me, but also to you, especially if your kids are discussing something called fanfiction or fanfic for short. Now, fanfiction is actually widely regarded as a space for creativity and expression, but there are some downsides to it that as a parent, you should definitely know about. So what is fanfiction? Well, in the simplest terms, fanfiction is literary subculture where admirers of existing works, be it books, movies, TV shows, video games, or even real-life public figures, create their own stories based on the universes and characters that they adore. Popular franchises like Harry Potter, Star Wars, and contemporary series like Stranger Things have legions of fans making their own creative versions of these stories. They craft their own narratives. The most popular Harry Potter fanfiction has over 500,000 words and a huge following of 11.5 million hits and counting. But before you run off and download it, know that it's most certainly not for young kids. I definitely rate it 13+. Now, this boundless creative landscape can be incredibly enriching. It gives fans an opportunity to engage deeply with the works and themes they love, often creating communities of like-minded individuals who share critiques, praises, and new iterations of each other's works. Websites like Archive of Our Own, AO3, Fanfiction.net, Wattpad, and Commentful are some popular platforms where these fan-created works are published and discussed. Fanfiction.net already has over 14 million stories published. That's a lot, isn't it? That's a lot more than even the biggest publishing houses, which typically publish about 10,000 books a year. The dark side of fanfiction? Well, this is something that we have to talk about. While this may sound like a literary utopia, especially attractive for young and imaginative minds, it also has its own downsides. And as a parent, it's great that our kids are enthusiastic about reading and perhaps even writing fanfiction. It's a good practice. I mean, we all want our kids to be reading and writing more, but we have to be mindful of what this world is about. It's subcultures and the kind of content that our kids might be exposed to. It's not as simple as, it's just books. One of the most immediate concerns with fanfiction is that basically anyone with a computer can write it. There's no mediation of content. And while that is a great thing, as it gives many people access to creative outlet, it also means that fanfiction has a wide array of content available. While some stories are simple and innocent, others delve into very mature and adult themes. These can include explicit scenes, violence, or difficult topics like self-harm, substance abuse, or even suicide. Watch out for terms like mature or smut, as that is more often than not going to be adult content. Another obstacle in navigating the fanfic world safely is the inconsistency of how stories are actually rated and labeled. Fanfiction communities rely on authors to tag their own stories appropriately, but not everyone does. There's no checks and balances. Some stories might not be tagged at all, while others might carry misleading tags. This creates a minefield when it comes to finding age-appropriate content. Things that should be labeled as adult content may not have any tags at all. Now, as an adult who makes living online, I know that the internet can sometimes be a very harsh place. There's just no hiding this fact. And that applies to fanfiction platforms as well. Many websites where fanfic is published allow for comments on stories, and here lies the issue. The commenting space is typically very much unregulated, so there are no mods keeping an eye on things. Feedback can range from constructive criticism, which is good, to outright bullying or inappropriate comments. For younger and more sensitive teens, encountering toxic comments can have emotional repercussions. Kids can internalize this feedback and it can inform their choices further down the line. They can also see it as a normal part of everyday life and actually start to take part in commenting harshly on other people's work. Most fanfiction sites require an account to take part in them, and because of that, data privacy becomes a major concern as well. Even a seemingly harmless username can sometimes provide too much information. Also, younger kids may include information about where they live in their stories directly, so watch out for that too. And look, while fanfic community is often a great platform for emerging writers, the stories are usually not and probably hardly ever professionally edited.
And now, a dramatic reading of real Twilight fanfiction by a real person. Chapter 1. Zombies attacks Edward. Edward Voss goes on the place near where Voss Bella's house home, and he looked it at to the sunfall and say, that is twilightening.
Now, tips for parents, how to navigate it safely. So what can you do as a parent to make sure that your kids aren't put at risk? Well, here's my advice. Make sure that you're actively engaged in your kids' fanfic activities. Keeping the conversations open means that they will feel like they can come to you if they come across something that makes them feel uncomfortable or something they are not sure about. Familiarize yourself with fanfic platforms that your kids are actually using. Review them, visit them as a user. Make sure you know what's going on and that your kids know that you're aware of their activities and you can help them anytime they need. Stress the importance of privacy and data protection. Take the time to go through privacy settings with your kids and make sure they understand the intrinsic importance of internet safety. Set boundaries and guidelines for what types of content is acceptable and help guide your kids to always scrutinize the ratings and warning labels on these stories. Now, next thing is super simple. Just enable parental controls on all of your kids' devices. We use FamiSafe. That is our product. That is what we recommend. If you enable it and anything untoward happens, then the FamiSafe app will flag it and alert you, giving you peace of mind that even when you're not able to be physically present, you can still keep your kids safe. And that's important. As a parent myself, I know that that is one of the most important things in my life. And by taking these steps, you can create a safer environment for your kids as they explore their creative sides. Fanfiction has a lot of potential when it comes to positive engagement and creativity, but as with many things on the internet, it has its intrinsic risks. Being proactive and knowledgeable about these downsides can help you better guide your children through the complex landscapes of online fandom communities. All in all, I'd say that the younger the child, the more you should avoid fanfiction. It can start off innocent enough, but stories can quickly turn to adult themes. And I don't just mean coming of age love type of stories. I mean, some of them can turn to be topics such as fetish, sex, drugs, suicide, murder, and even racism and homophobia. I'd rather not risk exposing my young kids to that. So what do you think about fanfiction? What is your opinion on this? Do you let your kids read it? Do you read it yourself? Are you knowledgeable? Are you aware of these communities? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear from you. Now, if this video has been helpful, please give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more parenting resources such as this one. Share it if you can, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!